Hello everyone and welcome to the tips and tricks which you can use in the IELTS. So first of all, I would just like to give you some tips which are useful on the day of the exam, irrespective of the section. You should sleep and eat well before starting the test. The test would be 2 hours and 40 minutes long and there is no going out between. You should also wear comfortable clothes for the exam. This is because the air conditioner might be turned on and it might be a little chilly inside. You can also take a water bottle inside the exam room, it is not prohibited. You can also arrive slightly before time because if you are late for the exam, you will not be allowed to get inside the exam room. You should also go to the toilet before the test starts because if you have to go between, the timer won't stop and you will lose out on precious time in the exam. You should also take multiple pencils, a pen, and an eraser in the exam room with you because some of them might not work and you don't want to be stuck inside an exam room with a pencil which does not with a pen which does not work. You should also take care of which ID the exam center has requested and bring only that with you. Now, tips for the IELTS speaking section. You should practice speaking in English before the exam. This will help you build a flow which will obviously help you during the exam. You should also be confident while talking to the examiner as it is an informal interview. You should also answer the questions which the examiner asks directly. You should not waste time. And also for the second part, keep speaking until the examiner stops you. Do not waste any time or do not speak in less than the recommended time. You should also focus on using different tenses and not only on vocabulary. Vocabulary just counts for 25% of the total marks for this section. Also, if you misheard the question or if you feel like you haven't heard it correctly, you can ask the examiner to repeat the question. Now, tips for the listening section. Before the exam starts, you have to make sure that your headphones are working. If they are not, you can simply raise your hands and inform the invigilators. They will replace it. Also, before the recording starts, you have to read through the questions. This will be very helpful because the recording is played only once. And do not focus on the on understanding everything, just focus on listening for the answers. Also, before before writing an answer, pay attention to how many words you can write in the answer. Also, it's just a recommendation but a strong recommendation to only use capital letters for writing your answers. This makes your answers the most legible and you have the highest chances of scoring good marks. Tips for the reading section. Again, like you have done in the listening section, you should read the question so you have an idea about how many words you can write for each answer. If you're not if you're not getting an answer to one question, you can move on to the next question and not waste time on answering that question. Also, since there is no time given for transferring your answers from the question booklet to your answer sheet, you have to write your answers directly on the answer sheet. Also, like you did again for the listening section, just find out the answers. Do not spend time understanding the passage every detail. Also, it's a strong recommendation to use only capital letters for writing your answers to increase the legibility. For the writing section, you are recommended to spend 20 minutes on task 1 and 40 minutes on answering task 2. No watch is allowed, so you have to keep an eye on the wall clock which will definitely be mounted in the exam room. Also, write a little greater than 150 words or around 150 words for task 1 and around 250 words for task 2. You can use the question paper to plan your essay. It won't be evaluated. Also, please remember to split your essay for task 2 into introduction, conclusion, and body paragraphs. Do not fear running out of paper, because if you do, you can simply raise your hands and ask the invigilator for spare paper, for extra paper. Okay, these were all the tips I had for you for the IELTS. Best of luck. I hope you do well in the exam.